And welcome to In-Game Chat, Saturday, April 17th, 2021, Season 15, Episode 13. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. If you would like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228, 334-272-9228 if you want to call us. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You can also find us on Facebook there as well. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We are streaming right now on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv, look for us. You can find us there and join us in the chat room live while we broadcast. It is the world's only radio show about video games, maybe? Might be.
Probably.
I don't know. We'll say it. We didn't research it, but we'll just go ahead and say that. Maybe the states. All right. The only radio show in Montgomery talks about video games. I don't know. They may talk about it in other parts of the state. I have no idea, actually, if that's the case or not. I really haven't looked it up. Plenty of people do podcasts. I don't know a lot of people who do actual shows on live radio.
You want to narrow it down a little further?
I mean, I could, easily. I could keep going.
We're the only video game podcast on this block. There you go. There you go.
On this street here. So, welcome. See, Lethal Migraine knows. K-Fan in Minneapolis has a 1-hour video game show every Tuesday night.
Just 1 hour?
When they aren't interrupted by NHL games. Yeah, we used to get interrupted all the time. Way back when, I don't know if you were with us at the time, RJ, but way back when we were doing a show on Friday nights, and then of course football came along.
Oh, okay, yeah,
the Friday night football stuff, and then
football,
we had
because football is king in this state.
Well, of course. Well, not just that, but they also paid for the time. The station was making money off of them.
Yeah, well, even if they didn't, they still would have been broadcasting.
Yeah,
because they need viewers.
No,
I mean, not viewers, listeners.
No.
Be sure.
You pay if you want to be on the station. Yeah, you can go be on the station for free.
Okay. Not even favors called in? Nothing like that?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Nope. It's, I mean, look, if somebody came in and said, look, we want this time, and they wanted to pay for this time, we'd be booted right on out. We'd have to find us we'd have to find us another time slot. So, yeah. But no. That's, we used to be interrupted by football games. And then, so I think we moved to Monday nights, which was weird. And then Monday nights, at some point in our feed, we started doing this NASCAR program that would talk about the race that happened on Sunday, but they'd talk about it on Monday. And so got booted off of that one. So I think we started doing Tuesdays, and then I think we did Wednesdays once. We were doing it at some point. We were doing it in the middle of the week, and then we started airing some basketball games from a school, and those were weird because football is always Friday night, right?
Right.
Basketball is pick a day of the week it can be played on in high school or whatever it was that we were. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, there's multiple days in the week.
Exactly. They would play on whatever day. It didn't matter, and so it was like, man, we cannot catch a break on this. And I guess we never really thought about doing it on Saturdays for some reason. But I guess because I was already here, and it's just like I'll stay after I'll stay after my shift because I didn't have the same shift that I do now. Back then, I was working until 5, and our show would go on at 6 or 7 sometimes, and so it was just me hanging around here until we went live. It also wasn't me getting up at 4:30 in the morning every week or every day during the week either. So it didn't matter that I was staying here until that late. So yeah, we were jumping all over the place, and we were getting preempted and interrupted and everything else because of that sort of thing. And we didn't care. We know our position on the totem pole as far as this is concerned, and we don't blame them a bit anyway. So. Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay. Oh, you know what that might be? Lethal, you might be talking about you might be talking about our old namesake, actually. We took over the show from a guy who worked at who was it? I think it was he used to work for Polygon, but I think even back then he worked up for 1UP or something. I can't remember what the name of the news site was or something like that. I can't remember who it was. That was the name of the website, but it was Philip Kohler, who used to do Evil Avatar Radio, but he did it out of a college station. Was it in Minneapolis? I don't remember. It was a college radio station. And I don't remember. It was in a northern state like that, Minnesota, Minneapolis, or maybe it was Massachusetts. I can't remember where he did it from. I have his old episodes because we just, when he got done, we grabbed the we grabbed all their old episodes we had, because we were on the same server that they were using to upload our shows and put everything out there. This goes way back before this goes way back before YouTube was a thing, before Twitch was ever a thing. We were on something called Justin TV, I think is what it was at the time. And it was, everything was coming out of this laptop. Well, not this one, but it was coming out of this laptop, and we had a camera up in that corner where there's you can actually still see the
red paperclip.
The paperclip that we hooked the camera to so we could show the entire group of us here.
Yeah.
But that might have been, you might be talking about that. I am not sure. So that's a good question. That could be, that'd be amazing. Did you just, I guess you listened to that, because he didn't search it. He just was out there when they said they get interrupted by that. Let me see. I don't know what he's doing anymore. I guess maybe he is working for Polygon. Let's see. What did he have? I don't see anything. I was going to try and find out. Oh, well. I'll look at that later. It's now it's on my head, and now I want to find out. So, yeah. Anyway, welcome to the show. Sorry, little memory lane. Let's do this and get on with it. Good. I'm telling you, I think he keeps giving me more information here. See, he went to work for Game Informer for a little while, I believe, and I don't know what he's doing. Again, I don't know what he's doing now, but he had a show back then. And then he got an offer to go to another place and work for them, and he wasn't going to be able to do the show anymore. And he was, we all talked about it. It was me and Jeremy and James, and I think Matt as well. We had and then it was Phil as well. We had a multiplayer session of Super Bomberman on the Xbox 360 arcade, where we hashed out the details. Well, we played the game, which is a fun game. It was a great game.
Yeah, it's a great party game.
And so we did that, and we hashed out the details of like, okay, can we keep the name? Can we bring the name with us? Can we bring the logo with us? Can we? Is that cool if we do that? Is it okay to do? We just hashed all that out and got it done. So that was it. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Scott, and RJ's here with us, and we're going to talk about what we played this week, but because we got a call already, we're going to go to the phones and talk to Chris. Hey, Chris.
What's going on?
What is going on with you?
Have you got the new Oddworld game on the PlayStation 5 on the...
I added it to my library, but I haven't done anything with it. I added it to the library. I don't even think I've downloaded it. I think it's just added it to the library.
Have you played any of the old series from that game series?
I played the very first one, Abe's Odyssey. I played the first one, and then I played the one that was released A Stranger's Wrath. I played that one as well.
Okay.
But I have not. I never played the one that launched with the Xbox when it came out. And I can't remember what that was called. It wasn't Abe's Exodus. It was some other character. I think.
I think it was Monty.
Yeah. And that's it. I haven't played a lot of them at all. I do remember the first time I played that game, though. I thought it was amazing. I thought this was the most amazing thing in the world. It looked so good for that time period. It looked, it felt like the way Prince of Persia felt from way back when.
Yeah, the way it animated and everything.
The way it was animated, but this one felt like it was all hand like placed, almost like it was one of those claymation games,
like stop motion.
Yeah, kind of stop motiony, and kind of it looked the characters, the environments, of course, looked not fake, but digitized, whatever. But the characters that you were playing as, the stuff that was in the foreground here looked, like they were models of some sort.
Yeah.
So but I do remember that.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew, but that other one on PlayStation 4 that released, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, that was a remake of the very first one, the new and tasty.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember that one.
And then the newest one that came out, that's free on PlayStation Plus, but which is coming physical, I think, in a month or two. I think it's next month sometime. It's a remake of the second one, Abe Exodus, that was on PlayStation 1. But, the visuals, if you love the first one and everything, you'll absolutely love this. And I'm having the ball of my life, playing this one. And it's still just as fun and challenging, very extreme challenge, to get through and not die and save everybody. But, it's the graphics and the visuals in that game they outdid themselves.
Okay. Well, I can take a look at it. Like I said, I added it to my account so I could download it. And then, so I'm good. All right. What else, Chris? Anything else?
Not much. I've just been playing that and, got through a tough area. Basically, of course, like anybody that's played the series, you give them the voice commands to tell them, wait and stop and, time everything to get them through the different obstacles. Well, there's this one I went through, and then there was like saw blades rocking back on a pivot back and forth. Remember that little section in the original Contra where you had to time it, when one set of things would come down, and then you had to move into place of where the other ones were going up. You had to move, but you had to time it. It was something similar to that where you had to, one would be up and then the other one would be down, and you'd have to time your progression through there. And there was somebody to save at the very end, but there was a long gap that you could jump over, but he couldn't, so you had to make him follow you all the way back through two of those, which had, saws on each end, and they were rocking back and forth on a pivot, and one section had like 7 of them that you had to progress through. Lord have mercy. Yeah.
I can only say that from just your explanation.
Yeah, you just imagine, and it's worse than what you can imagine, but I finally got it through and saved him, and those checkpoints came in real handy. Yeah. I had to look it up on YouTube and say, I'm getting frustrated with this. I got to see what the time it is and everything, and I finally got him through there and got it saved, and then got myself back through and got to another checkpoint and took a long break.
Well, good.
Yeah, the way you were describing it's like I can imagine it's hard enough with just by yourself, but when you have to drag someone behind you well, that's when the fun starts. I always dreaded those things. Like the only situation I can recall that I was like that was Manhunt on the PlayStation back in the day from Rockstar, having to drag a bum through a hunter infested area. I mean, keeping myself hidden is one thing, but keeping a drunken bum from stumbling into the light and alerting everybody to your presence was hard enough in and of itself. And he would not stop talking either. Yeah, so that was a fun in and of itself. Yeah, so I never liked that part, but I appreciated the challenge in getting through with it and not wanting to do it again. Thank goodness. Okay.
Yeah, I tell you what, you're right on the money on that one, and this one. Yeah, you have that relief. You just got to get up and get away from it once you get through it, and then get a save point, and then do something else, and then you can come back to it after your nerves settle down.
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you calling in, man.
All right,
as always.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you too.
Take care now.
All right, bye.
Bye. Sorry, okay. So the mystery deepens. Phil does live in Minneapolis.
Oh, okay.
I am more and more and more convinced that that's probably the exact same show he's talking about, which is amazing, if that's the case. So, awesome. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Do we have time to talk about what we've played? how many? It's been 2 weeks here, and we got 10 minutes till we hit the break.
Oh, goodness.
So what have you been playing, RJ?
Well, for the most part, I've been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, unlocking skins and augments and things like that. Getting a little practice in with combos and everything like that. I haven't played much of that online, just really going through the story really more than anything else. But eventually I'm going to have to get down and play some matches online and whatnot, get my stats up, see how well I can do against actual human opponents instead of just the AI. Play a little more of R-Type Final 2, the demo. I'm in anticipation of the actual game that's released on the 30th of this month. So I'll be playing a little more of that and getting the feel of it and everything. A little ticked about missing the actual limited edition of the game. Yeah. I thought the inaugural edition was the limited edition of the game, but no. Apparently the actual limited edition was only available on the game manufacturer's website, NAS America's website. It was only there. Never even heard of it. And by the time I found out about it, it was all sold out. And it was, and I think the difference was only $20. No, I'm sorry, $30 more difference. And I'm like, man, if I had known now what I knew, if I knew then what I know now, man, I would have picked it up in a heartbeat. But nope, I'll just have to stick with the inaugural edition. So I'll probably be seeing it on eBay for like 200 or something bucks by the time it actually comes out physically. So, but yeah. At least I'll still get the game, so I'll be doing that anyway. Streets of Rage 4. Yeah. Play a little more of that. There's a DLC coming up in the future. I think one of the characters that was really popular, what was her name? Estelle, I think. One of the cops that you have to go against in the story campaign is going to be available for play. So you'll be using her, and I'll be seeing how she does in the future. And most recently, I finally loaded up Panzer Dragoon Remake. I bought the game.
What system? PS4?
PS4.
PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it originally came out on the Switch originally. Yeah. And it was exclusive for a little bit. And I was thinking, man, if this only come out on the consoles, I'd pick it up in a heartbeat. And it finally did, and I did so. But I did pick it up when it came out on launch, but I didn't play it until yesterday. So a little bit of nostalgia brought me back to those times when I played it on my Saturn. Of course, the controls were took a little getting a little used to, and then it fell back into place when I put it on Classic instead of Modern. Classic involves using the shoulder buttons to actually turn your camera point 90 degrees left and right, and that's what I was used to playing on the Saturn back in the day. And going through the whole thing, it made me think that there was a lot of Sega titles that I would really like to see remade. Of course, I always want Eternal Champions remade, but I was thinking more along the lines of Burning Rangers, if you remember that title from.
No, I don't.
Never played that game.
Does not ring a bell at all.
Firefighting. Firefighting.
Still nothing.
No. The thing about it was firefighting. It was something that no one ever really did much of.
Right. Yeah.
At the time, it was going around a certain area's on fire, and you have to keep the limit of damage down, and by way of taking out the flames and things like that. And as you're taking out these flames and putting and saving these buildings and saving people and rescuing them, you see there's a little side story going on in the background, and the more places you save and people you rescue, the more you find out. So motivation to keep going forward throughout the game.
Right, yeah.
But I was basically searching around the area, putting out fires and everything like that, saving people. It was really a fun experience, fun game. I also had to do a little space travel as well, going from station to station in your ship to do so. There was a little mini game in there that was really entertaining through that. So that was something I would really like to see remade as well. And if they did what they did with Panzer Dragoon Remake, a very good job, by the way. I'm thinking someone could do the same with Burning Rangers. That would be something that would be really nice to see remade and put out to market. But other than that, that's pretty much what I've been playing for the past 2 weeks.
All right. Mm-hmm. I was asking because Lethal Migraine says it's mostly been a sports week for him. He played some Hitman 3, which obviously is sports, but most of the time was FIFA 21, PGA 2K21, and MLB.
Yeah,
the show.
That's coming out this Tuesday, yeah.
Well, it's coming out Tuesday, and I knew there was early access, although Lethal's not one who usually mentions that he pre-orders anything, but he got he picked up the Jackie Robinson edition, and he gets to play early. And I knew if you pre-ordered it, you got to play early. But of course, with it coming straight to Game Pass, I was just like, I'm good. I'll just play it for free. It's not. I mean, as much as I enjoy, the steelbooks that they give you with those things, my steelbook whatever it is, my push to collect them or my urge to pick things up, it really diminished during the pandemic because no movies were being released.
Yeah.
Because they weren't, and if they were, it was so hard to get them because of stores being closed, you having to arrange a time to come pick up or something like that. And I just, I missed a couple, and at that point, it made it feel like, okay, I didn't need those anyway.
And I know you don't really put a lot of faith in mail order because they come to your house dinged up with something missing. And
I just recently purchased. This was back late last year. Mondo did a massive wave of Marvel Cinematic Universe steals.
Yeah,
and most of these were either available in the UK or France. There was not one that was located locally, and so I ordered from the French. It's not the French Amazon site, but it is a Amazon-like place that a lot of people in France
just marketplace,
use. I can't remember what it's called, FMAC or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Mm-hmm. And I ordered from there because I was reading, forum posts about like, oh, they're good with the shipping. I think I ordered 5 and 2 of them were good. The other 3 were damaged. Yeah. And I looked into trying to send them back, and it said, well, it's international shipping. It's going to cost you like $200 to send these back.
You pays your money, you take your chances.
And I said, yeah, I'm just not doing it. So I had to wait for the UK releases and then start picking them off as they started doing that, which, it's like I spent almost a whole year. If I saved up a whole year of not buying steelbooks, I wasted at the very end because I had to buy 3 of them over again twice. So, but that's about it. I stick to the Mondo steelbooks, really.
Yeah. They're the ones that look better because you've always been about the aesthetic of them, right? The look of them, really.
Yes, except for Mondo.
Yeah.
Mondo did a thing which I hope nobody ever copies, but they numbered their releases. On the spine is the number. It's like, here's our first, our second, our third, our fourth, fifth, sixth.
Oh, so number out of?
Not number out of, just numbered them.
Okay.
And they started with the number 0. So, at the time I started collecting these, I think they only had like 15, and I had already gotten a pretty good, maybe, no, it was less than that. It was less than that. I think it was like 10. Mm-hmm. And I had caught like the back half, but I missed like the first 4 or something like that. I found them on eBay for not very expensive at all. Check them now. They might be a little bit more expensive, but that's what I keep. That's what I kind of, that's all of that is just to say that while the Steelbook is coming with that game, it's not putting me there,
Yeah, it's not moving you,
Yeah, it's not. It really doesn't anymore. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless it is something that just appeals to me fan-wise type of thing, I'll buy almost anything that is Back to the Future related, and they've done, I don't know how many copies of that movie I've got and how many different Steelbooks of that movie I've got.
Or Batman.
Batman, it depends. It depends. I picked up and this is obviously not talking about games, I picked up the first 4 Batman films, the 2 Burtons and then the 2 Schumachers that came after that. They did Steelbook releases of those, but those were part of a 4K conversion as well. So I grabbed those to get the 4K, of course, because
you got the TV.
I buy stupid stuff.
And you got the TV for it. So
I know. But I just haven't done it in a while. I really haven't. I say that, but I haven't.
Well, the bug will bite you again when there's something good.
I haven't been pulled into it as bad as I once was.
Well, I was saying the bug will bite you again when there's something that really looks good to your eye.
Well, see,
interesting.
I think we're gonna pick back up here with movie theaters opening up and everything else, and so as that gradually comes back, I don't know that'll come back. I have no idea. It's weird because I look at things now and it's like that's got to be real special for me to go after it. And Mondo, since they number theirs, it's put a little incentive into me to continue getting those.
How close?
Even if I don't want the, there was and I don't even know the name. It's a Japanese band, a concert documentary movie.
Okay.
For a Japanese band that got a Mondo Steelbook release that I bought. because there's a number on the end.
And how close? Let me get how close to 000 did you get?
What are you talking about?
The number on the you wanted to get it said start from 0, right?
Oh, I've got 0. I've got number 0.
Okay.
Yeah. I got that a long time ago. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling, I think is who that is. Yeah. That was the movie Drive.
Okay, but that documentary that you had no interest in.
That was number 14 or 15 in the list, but I picked it up because I got to have it in my I can't go from 17 to 19. I got to have 18 in there, and so it didn't matter what it was. Wow. I know, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So.
And all it took was numbers.
Stupid numbers. I know, right? I mean, it's a thing. I can step away. I can step outside of it and looking like, man, you're really dumb.
Until it sells on eBay for like $1,500 a piece or something like that.
Yeah. What will happen is one day I will miss out on getting a pre-order in for something that they've done. I'll miss it. It'll go by, and I'll look at it, and I'll be like, I'm perfectly fine with this. And then realize that, okay, I don't need all of them. Mm-hmm. I can just pick the ones that I want. One day that will happen. Just like my graphics card that I don't have yet.
Yeah.
Really, really wanted it. I missed out. I hunted for a few weeks there, and then I just got tired of hunting. I was like, I'll get it when it's available. Mm-hmm. And so, that was fine. Just done, So that happens. It happens. If I can just get through, a little bit of not being able to, actually not being able to get it. You know what I'm saying? Either the card won't go through because I keep entering the wrong thing, or my account gets locked out, or I'm in the hospital and can't get to the internet to order what I need to order or whatever. Mm-hmm. Once that kind of happens and I miss out, it was okay because I missed out on pre-ordering the next gen consoles back in September because hospital. Mm-hmm. Even November, when I went back into the hospital for doing the second stint. That was the same day that some of the other places started dropping consoles in their stores, and I missed out. Mm-hmm. And I was okay with that. Of course, I tried again come Thanksgiving and was able to get them, but there was just no real urge or sense of rush to I need it now. Mm-hmm. I have to have it. So that's one thing, though, when you're talking about those consoles. Another thing, we're talking about Mondo Steelbooks, which can have limited number releases. Mm-hmm. In other words, consoles, they're going to keep making those year after year after year after year.
Yeah.
To fill in, to supply the demand, basically.
Yeah.
Not so on the Steelbook issues. So that's enough of talking about that. So when we come back, I'll tell you about the games I've played. I will go ahead and you can subvert your expectations. I did not play Man of Medan. At all. 2 weeks gone by, I didn't play Man of Medan. 2 weeks went by, and you can pretty much guess what I did play, but there are 2 other very small games that I actually dipped my toe in that have been a pleasure to play, and I will tell you about those as well. Then they're just really very recently. I think last weekend I did one, and then just last night we did another. So coming up, we're going to talk about that. We've got music here from a game called Lost Words. I enjoyed the music on this, and I'm actually kind of interested in the game itself. I think it's a new release. Most of these, I believe, are new releases. But this is called Lost Words, and it has a subtitle as well for the game. I can't remember what it is. But it's called A Writer Writes. And we will be back with more in-game chat. No Outriders, by the way, coming up after this. Figure it out one day. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Trying to get the camera working. I mean, it's working, but anyway.
You hit the wrong button.
I know. I went to a different slide instead of going back to the live shots of us. So, welcome back to the show. This is a song called Bullet of the Soul, and it's from a game called Poison Control. It's very Japanese.
I think I saw that on the PlayStation Store.
Which is why I look at you when I say that, because I know that you're going to probably know.
Yeah, I think I saw it on the PlayStation Store during the spring sale.
It had the cover of a game that I thought, RJ probably knows what this is.
Yeah, if I played it, yeah. Let's see.
Poison Control.
Yeah.
See, it looks like it's a...
Okay, that's not what I want. Okay.
Oh, well, you probably typed in Poison Control, didn't you? And it did the CDC.
It says, here's who to call. If this is an emergency, you need to follow the following procedure. Yes, exactly. That's exactly
what a horrible game name for that.
Yeah.
It's like a game called Call 911.
There might be a game called that. If not, it needs to be. If not, it needs to be. There needs to be a game called Call 911.
But see, they're going to overhear that. Hey, last night I was playing Call 911, and somebody's going to hear that and then just say, "Oh, I'm calling them to send them that way." So, bad gaming name conventions, just like bad box art that we were talking about with Mega Man.
That has to be the worst. That has to be the worst box art ever.
I'm not buying a lot of boxes. I'm not buying. I realize this just now. I bought a. Well, I take that back. I kind of remember it's back in November with the. Or was it more recent than that? No, it was still back in November during Black Friday. I bought a bunch of box copies of games, but I mean, mostly I just, and that's usually the only time I dip in. Unless it's something like last year, of course, I bought Animal Crossing when it released. Well, not long. I didn't have a Switch to play it on because mine was broken, remember? Last year?
Oh, yeah.
I had to send mine off, and so I was like, well, I can't play Animal Crossing. And, of course, the pandemic started about the time that I sent that off. And, of course, they couldn't, that delayed me getting my Switch back.
Yeah.
And when I did, of course, I went and picked up the game, only for the fact that the zeitgeist got me. And it was good that it did because I really enjoyed it. But I realized, most games I either download off of Game Pass, I get from Humble Bundle, which is still digital, or I buy it, I download it.
Yeah, well, even if without box art, there's still that advertising image. They put that main image of the game they want to put out for sale when you put it on the storefront. Yeah.
Well, a lot of box art now is just it's the game itself usually. Yeah. Assassin's Creed, here's the main character. Hitman, whatever. There it is. It's been a long time since I've literally looked at box art on games. It just I check and see if they got a steelbook and what that looks like.
I was looking at Poison Control. Looks like a Persona 5.
Yeah, okay.
Over the shoulder RPG type thing that's going on there.
Yeah, a game I've never played again, but I just trust your judgment on that. Yeah. What did I play these past 2 weeks? Obviously, it was a bunch of Destiny. It was I say a bunch. I played it on last Saturday, and I played it on Sunday, of course, but. During the week, I don't really jump into it. It's just Saturdays and Sundays, really, is when I dip my toe.
Is that when your crew is online playing together?
Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings, I'm doing those because my old man clock gets me up at
your sleep schedule.
And by that I mean me.
Your sleep schedule
wakes me up at usually 6 a.m. or 6:15, something like that, and I'm just like,
yes, what you used to. So that's
I go, make some coffee, sit at the computer, and play some Destiny. And forget I made coffee. And then have some cold coffee sitting there waiting for me.
Ice cold?
it's not ice cold because I didn't put ice in it. It's just cold. It's just cold coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. And okay. Cold coffee. Some people can't stand it, and that is fine. But that's the reason they have iced coffee, is because some people like cold coffee, I guess. I'm usually not the kind that's going to go and buy iced coffee. If I go to a coffee shop, which is also going to be a rare thing as far as, like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't go... If I go to a coffee shop, it's to get something that I can't get at my house, I can get coffee at home. I can get coffee at work. I don't need to go anywhere and get coffee, from some other place. Regular coffee. I'm going to go get there and get something that's like a nice little dessert drink, basically, is what it is. With the exception of when I'm out of town. Mm-hmm. When I'm out of town at like Seattle or whatever, most of the time the hotel itself has a Starbucks or some kind of coffee shop down at the lobby or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll go down there and I'll just get regular coffee. I won't get anything,
I can't get regular coffee from Starbucks.
Totally fine with it.
I get that coffee slush, whatever that thing. I don't know the name of it. But
is it cold?
It's cold, but coffee slush.
Okay,
yeah.
You're drinking cold coffee, huh?
Mm-hmm.
No problem with cold coffee now, is there?
No. But you sitting there letting it sit there all day and get ice cold. That's the problem.
Don't forget about it.
The smell didn't get you.
I tell you what, the same thing happens whenever, like if I go outside, and I don't normally do this anyway, but if I go outside and I'm going to do some yard work or whatever, take a bottle of water with me, I'd sit it on the table while I'm out there. Forget that it's out there, and by the time I need to go get a drink, it's already, I say room temperature, but whatever, day temperature. Mm-hmm. It's already not as cold as it once was. So, whatever. It works both ways, and it doesn't matter to me. Okay. She's saying otherwise, but yes.
You don't forget food, do you?
Do what now?
You don't get food, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Food too?
I say forget. It's not that I don't forget. It's that something will come up and I will not be able to. No. It's not that. Take my lunch here, for instance. Mm-hmm. I'll go heat it up in the microwave and then I'll sit down to eat. But something could happen that's going to need my attention, as it did. What was it? I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. One of those days, I sat down to eat. Then we had some problem with one of the stations, so I had to go. It took me about 30 minutes to finally finish that up. And then I had a client show up to record a spot. So again, another 15, 20 minutes where I couldn't touch my meal. And so, got cold again. Mm-hmm. Happens. Just, it happens. Back to the show. Back to the video games.
Yeah.
Part of things. I played Destiny, ran through that. I don't even know what to tell you where I am at Destiny. They're doing the raid tonight. I backed out of the raid for tonight, but I signed up for the Grandmaster Nightfall that they're doing. The really, 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 really difficult Nightfall to run. And the season's about to end come May the 11th. And so far, I can't remember where it started, but so far when they unlock the Grandmasters, they put them on a rotation, and it's a different map each time, and it sometimes cycles back. Next week, they will unlock them all so that players can pick which one they want to run. Mm-hmm. And there is trophies and achievement for running all of them. Not in one sitting, but just knocking out all of them as they're available. And if this goes well tonight, then that'll be more of my goal next time. I'm okay with the raiding. I'm fine. I'm good. I've hit my level cap. I've got the exotic that comes from the raid. I really don't. I'm good. I don't need to necessarily run it anymore. The Grandmaster, though, even though I have an achievement in my Steam profile that I've actually done one, I don't remember ever doing one. But apparently, I've done one.
Yeah, it's kind of like my library. I look at my library every now and then. It's like, when did I pick this up? How did I get this? Where did this come from?
There's a date on it in Steam, and it says I did it in November. I think November of 2019. And so, but I don't remember it in the slightest. I don't remember running it whatsoever.
Well, it's been a while, so
I don't remember it. So, we're gonna do that, and I'm just gonna focus on that. And I've also got a bunch of there's each week you get a new set of challenges to do for this season, and if you can complete 75 of those, you get an emblem or some kind of stupid thing that says, "Hey, I did." Look at all the time I wasted. Is exactly what those things say.
You notice there are trophies like that. Matter of fact, there was one in Panzer Dragoon remake that I saw. I think it's called Lifeless.
Yeah,
Lifeless. Get 100 hours of playtime in this game. And that's your trophy.
There's a couple of achievements that kind of poke fun at that, like you did what? And it's like, you get 500 kills out of doing whatever. It's one of those things.
I think Streets of Rage 4 has one as well. I think you have to get like something million. Is it 5 or 10 million of lifetime score, and you'll get an achievement for doing that. It wasn't as what is one other category called Lifeless or anything like that, but no. But something like that says trophies that you get for putting a whole lot of time in the game.
The other, and so Destiny stuff. I'm at a point right now where if Destiny was to go into the next season and reset all your stuff again come next week, I'd be fine. Yeah, I'm okay.
So you're not missing any items or anything like that?
No. I finally got my title this morning for the season, which is Chosen is the title that I got. So I got the Chosen title. I had to run some mission and find the last five scannables that I needed, and I got that done. It gave me a nice ghost shell, and it gave me a title. And so, I'm perfectly fine that, like I said, if it were to end next week, I'd be okay. Iron Banner's going on right now. I don't need to do anything with it. I played it today because I was doing stuff with it, but I finished that up. I still got some bounties left to do for that, but I am at level cap. I don't need to do them. It's not going to help me in any way to do those. And so I can focus on, doing other things to increase my level, because you can still increase your artifact, which is still going to bump your power level up. Right now, my gear is all 1310, but my power level is 1329.
Okay.
So I'm at 19. Yeah, I'm at 19 bonus levels right now. And as I do, bounties every morning when I get up, or Saturday and Sunday anyway, and run different things, it just increases, and there you go. What I found was a nice routine, I would say. And it's weird that I found this, because I can
look. You played enough. Why not?
Well, it's only weird because I remember going through previous seasons with this game and playing every single day of the week. And I've advanced more playing on 2 days out of the week than most of what I ever did playing every single day of the week, almost every single day of the week. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
where you put in some time on maybe a Monday or a Wednesday. But
you're grinding efficiently.
Yeah, but then you really put in some time on like a Friday night. And you'd really put in time on like a Saturday. And sometimes I'd sit back there all day Sunday just playing the game. But I've made more advancement playing it the way that I play it now than I ever did playing it the other way. Now, that could be also a change in what Bungie did as to how, not necessarily you play the game, but the things to do. They may have kind of reined it in a little bit to where I'm good to do what I'm doing right now. It could be a completely different thing. But I'm not sure. We'll see. Next season launches May the 11th, and everything goes back to square one. Now, for me, I'll be 1310 when it starts. For other people, they'll be either 1300 or somewhere in between or less, and then there'll be a lot of us who are at 1310. But of course, I think they're not going to bump it up. They're not bumping up a level as much as they used to. I think they're only going 20 levels now per season, with the exception of the expansion. If an expansion releases, that's a big jump. Yeah. So you can go further. But every season now, I think, is just going to get a 20 level bump each time. I say 20, it may be something else.
Less?
No, more. It may be 50. It's 50 or 20, I think.
I thought 50 would come with an expansion, though, or something like that.
No, you get almost 100 with an expansion.
Okay.
Or more. Sometimes more than that.
Okay.
It feels that way anyway.
To help everybody catch up, that's right.
If anybody who's in our Discord would be in our clan Discord who would be listening to this, they'd be right in this chat room or on the air with us, telling us exactly how wrong or right we are in that. So anyway, that's the Destiny side of thing. with the switch into April, and that speaking of Switch, what Nintendo does with the Nintendo online accounts and stuff, they did this thing back when they first launched, and it was called Tetris 99. It was basically, it was basically a competitive version of Tetris where you're fighting against 98 other players. Mm-hmm. And, I think
I saw some streams about that. You're competing against someone the more blocks you break, the more stuff you can send over to someone else's side or something like that.
Right. You get rid of blocks, they move it over to the other side. Then they did, I want to say it was Mario 35. They may have put another 99 in there, but I think it was Mario 35, which was you against 34 other people playing Mario. Super Mario Brothers, at least the first level, I think, or whatever it was. And as you did things, you'd send other things. Well, now they have Pac-Man 99. Mm-hmm. I know that's going to...
I think I've seen that too.
I know that's going to pique your interest.
Yeah.
You and me both, because when I played it, I got strong Championship Edition vibes. It's not that kind of... It's the vibe is there. It's not in any way, the same. Yeah. But the vibe is there. Mm-hmm. You are competing against 98 other people playing Pac-Man. And as they eat ghosts, it puts these other Pac-Men into your game.
Yeah.
And at first, they're stationary. They don't move, but they're blocking your path. If you run into them, you slow down. Mm-hmm. As soon as you're past them, you pick back up your speed, but every time you hit one, you slow down. Eventually, as you keep playing, they're not stationary anymore. They come to find you. Mm-hmm. And as they do, which you can get rid of them by eating a power pellet. Mm-hmm. One of the bigger pellets. Once you eat one of those, it eliminates all of them off your board. Mm-hmm. And then you're free to go eat ghost and everything else.
Puts everything back to normal, you mean?
No.
Or you said it takes all the
it takes all the slow. Yeah, it takes all the slow men off the board.
Yeah. So all you gets left is ghosts and you.
Ghosts and you and the rest of the pellets. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so as you do that, now the key to getting your power pellets back, and also a key to doing some other stuff later in the game, is to eat the fruit that appears in like the center of the screen. Mm-hmm. That fruit only appears when you've eliminated, ever how many dots on the field.
Yeah, that's how it's always been. Yeah.
Well,
and Miss Pac-Man anyway was like that. Yeah. If you eat a certain amount of dots on the screen, the fruit pops up or comes out.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's like twice the board before you clear it out.
Yeah, it's something like that with this as well. When you eat that, it refills the board with power pellets and regular pellets and everything else. Mm-hmm. It will also eliminate the dead Pac-Man, and by that I mean later in the game, much later in the game, when you're down to like 10 people left. Mm-hmm. Some of the Pac-Man that are getting sent over are they're outlined in red. And
dangerous.
Yeah, you touch them, you die. They're basically ghosts. Mm-hmm. And so if you eat a power pellet, you don't eliminate them, but you cause them to stop. They'll stop chasing you while that's active. Sometimes that's good, because that means they're right on your tail. You got away from them, and you got the power pellet, they're gone. They're not chasing you anymore. Yeah. Sometimes that's bad, because you may eat one over here, but if there were two of them coming at you from both of your entry and exit, and you got the power pellet,
if you were sandwiched,
you're still stuck. So you can't do anything. So that's a death. But if you eat the fruit, it eliminates all of those.
Okay. So
just to explain,
the fruit's all powerful. You said it had touches of you had a vibe for Champion Edition. Can you hit the brakes in this game?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I don't think it has brakes. It does do the sparks when you
hit the corner right.
When you hit the corner right, it'll do the sparks. There also are trains of ghosts.
Okay, if it has all that, I mean, it should, because I'm thinking the situation you just said. If you're stuck between two red ghost Pac-Man, but the power pellets in between, you got nowhere to go.
Yeah,
if you're stuck moving, you're going to be going up and down or left and right repeatedly until the.
Well, at that point, you can't really do anything, because if you eat a power pellet, it only stops the red Pac-Men from moving. They stay stationary. As soon as that effect wears off, they go back to moving. Mm. And if you're stuck in between two and you can't escape, you might as well just end the game.
Escape tunnels, at least?
Huh?
Escape tunnels, at
least?
least?
There's the two, yeah. I mean, it's a regular Pac-Man board.
Okay.
Basically, you can go watch the trailer for it. It's a quick one. It's like a minute long, and that'll give you the idea of what it does. I mean, it's really, really simple. And man, was it addictive.
Yeah.
You got to have a Nintendo Online subscription in order to play it, because you got to play online with other players and that sort of thing. But it ate into me, just like Championship Edition did. Every time I pick that up, it just continues to burn into me. And then when we come back, I'll tell you about the other game I played, because we're already at the top of the hour. And also, Crawdad is on the line. Let me go ahead and take this call while we got some time still left. Hey, Crawdad.
Hey, guys. I'll be real quick.
No, that's fine. I appreciate you holding. I'm sorry. I got into that and completely forgot you were on hold, and it's just bad hosting.
You talked about the coffee, and that's what, I don't know why, but did you know that that coffee is based, what you call a cappuccino, is based on a Franciscan order, the Capuchin monks.
Oh.
Yeah, because of the robes that they adopted, and the robe color was this particular brown, and that's what the coffee color is. So that's where it came from, Capuchin.
Huh.
Did you know that the Bandicoot is back?
Crash Bandicoot? Yeah.
I wanted to know if you guys have taken a look at it. It's not a console game. It's online at internet and.
Oh wait, what? No, there's a console game for it.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It will be on Nintendo, I guess.
There may be a Switch version, but there's also It's actually on all of them. It's on PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch.
Oh, good.
It may even be on PC. I'm not exactly sure. The new one may even be on PC. I don't know.
We had more fun with the Bandicoot game, and I just wanted to see if any of y'all had tried it out yet.
I remember I played some of it way back when I actually had a PlayStation. Well, I was borrowing somebody's PlayStation for a good many months, actually. And I played it. This was back when I used to work at the video store, and so I could just come home with whatever games we had that nobody else, And so, I remember playing that game, and I enjoyed it. It's a nice little platformer and that sort of thing. I will say though, this remake or this thing what's it, Trapped in Time, or It's About Time, or something like that.
It's About Time.
Yeah. Crash Bandicoot, It's About Time.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time.
God, that is a great looking game. By all accounts, it's a great playing game. I have not played it, but
that's one of the no.
Yeah, it looks everything about it makes me want to play it. I haven't played it, but everything about it is like, you know what? That thing hits a decent price. I'm picking it up.
Well, if y'all do, I'll be listening to see what you think of it.
Because I really, really like what they've done with this one. I really do. It looks beautiful. It probably plays fantastic. But by all accounts, it's a really, really good. It's a successful return, I would say. Is
I
what
would
I
hope
would say.
so.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling, man. I appreciate you holding too.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Take care now.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll tell you about the other game I played. And I only started playing it this morning. Bought it last night, played it this morning. We'll tell you about it coming up. Here is music from Abe's Exodus that we just talked about with Chris earlier on. This is called Fleech. Yeah, anyway, we'll be back with more on In-Game Chat. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from a game called The First Tree. It is available for free on the Epic Game Store right now. In fact, there are 3 games that are available on the Epic Game Store right now. The First Tree, Pillars of the Earth, and there's a third one that I am completely have no idea. I can't remember what it is. I may have used it in because that's why I got this music. So I may have used it because I also got music for Pillars of the Earth as well. Because those are the 3 free games. There's another game in that list, and I don't remember what it is. But Epic gives Epic.
Let's see, The First Tree,
yeah,
The Pillars of the Earth, and Deponia, The Complete Journey.
Oh yeah. I should have looked at getting some music from that actually, but yeah. Every week, the Epic Game Store on PC, by the way, gives away a free game. Every Thursday, they change out the games, and so you have from Thursday to Wednesday, to get the new free game. And sometimes, like this week, they gave us 3 free games this week. So my collection grows. In fact, we're going to talk about that coming up a little bit later on, because if you saw that, they're actually losing money on that deal. Hundreds of millions of dollars. And so we'll talk about that coming up. I wanted to talk to you about the game that I bought last night. I bought 2 games last night. Which is weird. Like, ooh, hey, big spender. Going nuts there. I bought my tongue there. I bought 2 games. The first one is on Steam, and it's got a very strange name. It's an early access game, but it was $10, and I was like, okay, that's good. I can do that. And it was called. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but I'm saying it just exactly like it looks like it's spelled. Dorf Romantik. DORFROMANTIK, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, did you find it? Looking that up?
No, I'm just typing what you put. Dorf Romantic.
Yeah.
Dorf Romantic.
Yeah. It's a strategy city builder.
I thought all city builders were strategic.
Yeah. This one's a bit different.
Okay.
And I haven't played it. I only watched the trailer that explained. And in fact, I will say this too. It's not the same company. The trailer gives a good idea. There is a... No. The trailer doesn't. I watched a review so that I could figure out how the game plays and that sort of thing. And it seemed like if they wanted to be a very relaxing, non-stressful type game, I'm like, okay, that's good. But the way it plays is like you're giving a setting, and it's all tile based. It honestly looks like if you ever remember that game.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk.
That's weird. Why did that move?
Errant mouse press.
No. Did I? I can't tell what I've done here. Hang on. I'm completely lost. What just happened? Okay, that goes. Okay, I think I've got it now. There we go. You'd think I hadn't done this in a week. You'd think it'd been a while since I've done this. Okay, I got that straightened out. Man, that was annoying. So anyway, it gives you in the little town the aesthetic for it is really nice and very minimalist in a sense. And basically, you start off with these tiles. It's already, I guess, it's already kind of made. The way the review was showing was like it's a small amount that are placed, and then you have 50 tiles, almost like a card deck, kind of like solitaire. And so you have 50 tiles, and you have to use those tiles as you get them. You can't look at a tile and say, "Well, I have no use for that," and throw it away. You got to find a use for it and put it in there so you can get to your next tile and that sort of thing. And you can spin your tiles around to match up to a road or something like that. If you do everything right, your city or your town will continue to expand. If you do everything like you're supposed to do, and it gives you objectives to do with these tiles. So as you do those objectives, it's going to unlock more spaces on the board for you to play. If you're unable to unlock those objectives, making a wrong move or something like that, you'll eventually come to a section or come to a point where I can't move anymore and game's over. You know. And so it's all about that. I haven't actually played it, but it was $10 and it was worth. I was like, sure, that's fine. But I never played it. I just bought it last night and I haven't played it yet. The other game I bought, and the only reason I bought this was because I had read some stuff in my news feed had come up about it. In fact, one of them is still in there because I was going to read it later, but then after buying it, I was just like, I'm good. Or maybe I put it in there. Did I put it in the show? Yeah, I did. There it is. Review, Cozy Grove, at the very bottom of the news list. I just kept seeing a bunch of stuff talk about that. And their little tagline for this review is, Animal Crossing fans, this one's for you. And so I said, sure. And so I watched a trailer for it, and as soon as I saw the trailer, it was just like, yep, getting that, $15 on Switch. Now, it's also available on Steam as well. But I picked up the Switch copy so that I could have it with me if I wanted to play it here or something like that, because it is very Animal Crossings-like. Very Animal Crossings-like. It is, but it's got a great watercolor aesthetic to it. The island that you land on is black and white with very light shades of brown. You know, it hasn't all filled in, but as you do these tasks, the life starts to come back to the island. Color starts to come in. Trees start to bloom fruit. Grass starts to grow. You know, it's not. It's one of these things, and so everything starts to build in, and you're helping these spirits who are all over the island. They're all ghosts, and you're helping them out. You're what's known as a spirit scout, and you have like basically it looks like a Boy Scout or a junior woodchuck, and so you know, you're doing all these things, and it's at a campground, and you're you know, you just advance, and so and I'm telling you, it is heavily Animal Crossing. Scarily so in the sense of like, are you not getting sued over this? I mean, everything just has that same Animal Crossing feel, which is a perfect way to put that to anybody who's curious about the game. It's like, did you enjoy Animal Crossing? Oh, I loved Animal Crossing. Go ahead and get it. You know, that's the whole thing. If you really enjoyed Animal Crossing, pick this game up. I'm telling you now. Go ahead. I don't care if it's on PC or Steam. I don't know if there's any multiplayer aspects to it. Again, I've only really just started dipping my toe into it, but go ahead and get it. Just go ahead. I was reading a review here. I had a review pulled up from, what is this? thenextweb.com. I don't know when it was posted, but I was reading about it because I came to a point in the game where they told me, hey, I don't, there's a talking fire. It's your campfire, and it talks to you. And you feed it spirit logs. These ghosts that you help out, is when you do a task, they'll give you a spirit log. You go to the fire, you feed it a spirit log. You feed it ever so many, and it levels up and says and expands the island and gives you more stuff to do. So I'd go to him and I'd give him some spirit log, and he'd say, "Okay, good. Here's your next task." Give him a spirit log after I did the task. Okay, good. Here's your next task. Give him a spirit log after I did that task. He's like, I need more. I sense that there's more out there, and of course that means there's more stuff for you to do. So I go do that. Right. Eventually, I get to the point where he's like, I don't sense any more logs. Come back tomorrow, and that's it. And what I was reading in this is that it's a game. I'll just read it here. Cozy Grove feels like a game that was made by people who actually care about me. Unlike Animal Crossing New Horizon, a game that begs me to play 24 hours a day, it really doesn't. Least I miss a celebrity sighting, sale, or a special event. It's not that bad. It really, really isn't that bad. You can play, and I did for a long time. I played Animal Crossing for about 30 minutes a day, doing my usual stuff around the island, and I was good.
Yeah.
So he's putting a little bit too much harsh criticism on New Horizon. Game doesn't beg you to do that. You did it. If you did it, the game doesn't beg you to do this. You're not going to not advance in the game because you didn't talk to a certain character that came by the island for 10 minutes that you missed or something like that.
Yeah.
You're going to be fine. But anyway, what he says here is that Cozy Grove offers me a similar experience in a world more suited to enjoy in small bursts. Most players will find the game's combination, once you've done everything you can do, most players will find the game's combination of task-based quest and character interaction take up about 30 or so minutes a day. It's good. That's good. Once you've done everything you can do, you'll have to wait about a day to do more quests. On first inclination, he says this feels a bit like a ripoff. You pay your hard-earned money for a game, and its developers essentially tell you to play it on their terms. But then I realized that the developer, which is known as Spry Fox, by the way, wasn't trying to sell me any shortcuts, loot boxes, or other crap. For what I've been able to discern, Spry Fox intended for players to experience the game in small bites over months at a time rather than exhaust its content in a week of marathon play sessions. Normally, we would get mad about this. Mm-hmm. I get mad at Destiny for doing this. I get mad at Destiny for time gating things. Mm. But Because, and here you go, Destiny has ingrained in you the FOMO approach, which is the fear of missing out. If you don't get it done, you're going to miss out on this. And so when you get a bunch of stuff done and then you get to a point where it's like, I can't do anything until next week. I mean, there's plenty of other things you can do, but I can't do anything to advance this particular whatever I was working on until the next week. We hate that stuff. We can't stand it. We are, if anything, both gamers, I think, in general, and Destiny players as well, or you could say MMO players, if you even want to be that liberal to call Destiny an MMO. We have been conditioned, or instinctually get as much as we can done when we feel like doing it. You know what I'm saying? If we're on a tear and we want to keep going, we want to keep going.
It was like for me, for fear of missing out, it was like if there was an item going after, some of the things was like, okay, what's the item? First of all, what's the item?
Yeah.
If the item's worth the flip, then I'll go through it. If the item's not going to help me at all right, what's the point of doing this thing? I can miss that. I can miss that all day.
Well, in some games, and especially in Destiny, they're trying to tick off the completionist people.
Yeah.
I could be one of them in a sense. There's different types of completionists. There's the overall who needs everything. There is the, the weapon armor completionists. If there's a certain exotic that you have to do a mission for and it's only going to be around for a while, I'll try and do that. There are people who want every single finisher or every single emote or something like that, and I just, that's not me on that one. Yeah. But I will go after the armor and the weapons and stuff, and especially if there is a limited edition, or not a limited edition, but a limited time on doing something to get an achievement or whatever. Sure, that's fine too. I'll give it a shot if I can. I'm not as worried about it. But if I can get an item that's going to be useful in game, I'll definitely always take that. Even if I don't think it's going to be useful for me, sometimes these things have a way of coming back around and actually ending up being useful in the world of Destiny anyway. Yeah. They'll put because everything adheres to not necessarily the exotics, but adheres to a type, an auto rifle, a shotgun. So if they don't buff individual shotguns, they just buff the class of shotguns. Yeah. They buff swords. They nerf auto rifles. They nerf pulse rifles. So something that could be completely useless this season might be amazingly good after a hot fix or a tweak somewhere down the road when they, give it more power. So make sure you got it right. That's just me.
Yeah, because you must think with Destiny, it's been it for a long time. Scout rifles is my rifle of choice.
And you would love the Dead Man's Tale, man. It's a great little scout rifle exotic.
But what's the range on it?
Very good. Very good.
I mean, across the map?
I don't know about it. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. If you're talking about PvP, maybe. Considering those maps are small, but...
I get pretty good range on the Song of Justice, but that was a long time ago. But the thing was maxed out on range. It's like a fingernails width of a pixel from max range.
I'd have to see what it is on Dead Man's Tale. It's just a really nice, sturdy gun. Like you fire that gun and there's so little recoil. But it's not auto fire, obviously, but that's what scout rifles.
That's right, yeah.
Now I do have a scout rifle that does have full auto trigger, so it just boom, 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 which I was doing great with in the Iron Banner this morning. That was great.
Better. Scout rifles got pop, and it's blood like. How many rounds of clip was this auto?
I don't know. I put backup mag on it, so it's got more, which is a mod you can put on there. I almost put backup mag on everything that I have.
Was it in the teens? Because usually it's like 10 to 14 rounds for a scout rifle. Normally.
On this one I think it's 7.
7.
It's not. It's powerful, but it's an exotic as well.
Auto, but it's auto.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'm talking about the auto.
You're talking about the auto one I had? I'm sorry. Yeah. It was probably in the teens, maybe close to 20.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? I'm probably 13 or 14.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. But this new one you were talking about was only 7 rounds.
I think it's
but it's powerful enough. That's all you need.
It's single digit, but it's very powerful and it's so steady.
And if you can hit your target,
you pretty much can. I mean, it's good. It's it's really nice. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. But this Cozy Grove thing that I was talking to you about, it's 30 minutes you're into it, and then it's like come back, do something else more. The aesthetic is nice. Again, I look at that watercolor thing. I fell in love with it. The music is great as well. But the similarities between it and Animal Crossing are just undeniable to the point that I feel like they're going to get sued. They won't, because obviously you can make a case that this is not what it was intended to do or anything like that, because it is visually it's completely different.
Yeah. But gameplay-wise,
mechanically and gameplay-wise, it does seem to have a lot that carries over from what Animal Crossing.
Would you say it's a Animal Crossing clone?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I couldn't say that.
Okay.
It looks too different. Plays mostly the same.
Animal Crossing with a different
Yeah, it's different paint
aesthetic.
job. Yeah, completely different paint job.
Same car, different paint job.
And as well, what the thing mentions, where it's like you only have so much to do in a day, and that's it.
Yeah.
You do that for the day, and it's like, there's nothing left for you to do here. Come back tomorrow. Which is good to know that, like, you've done everything. Now, you can still play. You can still go through and pick up seashells. But you can do that in Animal Crossing. You can dig up stuff, and you can do that in Animal Crossing. You can collect things. You can craft things. You can do all that. That's fine. But you're not going to advance the game until the next day.
Yeah.
So, but man, it's really good. It's really good. In just the few minutes. I mean, I probably haven't even put an hour into this thing, and I'm down for it. I'm so grateful that I found it. The thing was, I saw he calls in all the time. Brock Spigot.
Yeah.
He was playing it on Switch, and I was like, I always pay attention. There's him. Either on Steam or on his Switch or anything else, I always pay attention to what he plays, because he can find some really good indie-type games, some lesser-known indie-type games. Mm-hmm. He could really find some good ones there, and he did with Cozy Grove. Okay. And so, yeah.
Found a gem.
I know, it was great, and I've spent far too long talking almost about it, but not much.
So what's the cost on this game?
It's $15.
And how much is Animal Crossing right now?
It is the typical Nintendo. I think it's around $50. I think I saw it on a sale for Target or somewhere. It was like, no, it's Amazon. I think it was $47.99. I think.
Okay, so
but I think usual retail is probably going to hit you $50 or $60.
So if you're iffy on Animal Crossing and want to get a taste of it anyway and get a decent game out of it,
yeah,
$15 compared to $50.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah. Definitely. See, Random joined in. I know you said you feel called out. I don't know if you were watching or if you were listening or watching the show or whatever. We were talking about Destiny stuff earlier, and I thought if one of you were here, somebody from the clan, I was thinking mainly of Shin, who's in our clan. Figured he would pop in and tell us how wrong I was about some of the things I was saying about Destiny. I can't remember what that was, actually. But yeah, so happy to see you. I haven't done a roll call yet. A chat room roll call. Who we got? AC Wraith, Casket Sharp, Commander Root, Evan 04111, Flask Copy, G Neptune, Lethal Migraine, Random Magnetic, Stephen Van Dam, and TYTDL hanging out in the chat room. So good to see. Oh, and there's Duke. Duke just showed up. Hey, Duke. Good to see you. Steve. Steven? Steve. I think. Coming up next, because we are almost at a break here, and we haven't touched any of this. We've been gone for 2 weeks, got a load of news, and I haven't mentioned anything, really. So we'll hit some highlights of this past week, because there are some worth hitting, and then I'm going to probably save some of this for next week, because, good Lord, I had a lot here, and we just had too much catching up, and I drone on and on and on far too often. All right, we'll be back with more of in-game chat right after we hear from these spots, but we got music here from Saga Frontier. That's how it's pronounced? It should be. Yeah. They did a remaster recently of the game. And so I was trying to find music from the remaster that was not anywhere, so I just went back to the old one. Which was a PlayStation 1 title?
Feels like it. I think it was.
I think it was, yeah. It sounds like it. Definitely sounds like a PlayStation 1 title.
PlayStation in 97.
97. The year I graduated.
And then later came to the States in 98.
All right. Well, we'll be right back after we hear a little bit of this on In-Game Chat. And welcome back to In-Game Chats. Music here from Pillars of the Earth. Or as it's actually titled, Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth. Which I think is ridiculous. Like Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Nobody says that. They just call it Nobody says Tom Clancy's Hunt for Red October. They just say Hunt for Red October. And that's it. Anyway, welcome back to the show. There's Drunk Degenerates. Everybody's showing up late. Were we an hour off? Lethal Migrant says, this fall Scott is getting a new Switch, 100% chance of that. $400 OLED screen, 4K when docked, and I expect you to put down the worst game ever made long enough to give a legitimate review. That's funny. Yeah, I haven't heard any more about that as far as a new Switch. Only that it's more than likely, happening, but I haven't heard anything more. Speaking of, by the way, E3 is going to be an all-free digital event that begins June 12th. Sure, that's fine. I don't necessarily think that we still need an E3, but whatever. I think it's good the way that it was done last year, although I didn't like how it was spaced out. And I realized there was a, complete global pandemic for them to be able to make these things happen. And honestly, video game companies are a global thing. If you want to talk about, especially where Nintendo is concerned, a lot of that's Japan. If you want to talk about video games in general, you're going to find studios that are in Montreal, studios that are in all over the North America, but also in, we've talked about it in
Europe.
Yeah, all sorts of
Poland.
Poland, all sorts of places in Europe and that sort of thing, and Japan, and just all over the world.
Yeah,
is where game stuff comes, and so it's hard to get all of those people together when things are going on the way it is. And so I completely understand that. And then, of course, when you had to adjust on the fly last year and say, okay, now we're got to go all digital with this, and you got to take time and do that, I understand that things were off, but hopefully everything can be more, I don't want to say compact, but at least more together. Like Monday of this week, I'm going to watch Microsoft when they do theirs. And then Tuesday is going to be Nintendo. And Wednesday will be Sony and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Where it's not, this weekend it's this. Check us out in 2 months when it's going to be PlayStation on this particular day of the week at this particular time. And so that was kind of annoying a little bit. I understand it was the product of the environment. It's the product of what was going on. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully it's a little bit more, they had the first run on this. Hopefully this one's going to be a situation where they nail it down a little bit better with how they do the presentations and stuff like that. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not going to Seattle this year. I mean, that's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. They might have a PAX. I don't know. I think they want to. But I don't know if they're going to get vendors there. And even if they do get vendors, I don't know how many they're going to get. I don't know who they're going to get, who's going to be able to go there. And then at the same time, I don't know that I want to go there right now. Mm-hmm. I say right now, but even then, this year is what I mean. Next year, that's totally on the table.
Yeah.
That is easily on the table for next year. But I don't know that this year is going to be it. I mean, even with all the shots and everything else, I don't think it's going to be a thing I'm going to go to. I don't know if it'll make it or not. It's going to try. But I don't know if it's going to be a thing. And if it is, it's probably going to be very light on the crowd, maybe. I say that, and there's probably people just dying to go to this thing. And that's probably a bad choice of words. But it's probably people just
can't wait to go.
Yeah, right? Like, yeah COVID be damned. I'm going to go. You know?
That's already happened with a lot of people.
There's still that thought, isn't there?
Yeah.
Bungie, speaking of Destiny, Bungie announced they're hiring for a new franchise with a focus on competitive PvP, which means, oh, good. Something Fortnite. I won't be playing.
We need another Fortnite clone.
I'm actually completely satisfied if they're working on a game that I won't be playing. That's fine for me. Obviously, they can't make something that's going to compete against Destiny.
Yeah, what is the hot genre nowadays?
The hot genre?
Yeah. Is it still Battle Royale or whatever?
Yeah, I would say so.
It's still the hot genre right now? Yeah.
If that is the genre, I would say that, whatever Outriders is, whatever Valheim is, you know?
Okay.
I would say that those borrow from already existing games, you know?
Yeah.
Apex Legends is still huge.
Yeah.
Fortnite obviously is just gigantic when you talk about that. And it's still the same thing with oh God, the soccer game with the cars.
Rocket League.
Yeah. But yeah, it was so yeah. I don't know. I don't think I'll be going. So
okay.
I won't be going to that, and just to get out of that, I completely lost my train of thought.
Is it Bungie hiring for new?
Yeah, Bungie's hiring for that, and that was pretty much done. It's a game I'm not going to play because I don't do competitive PvP. I do the PvP that I do in Destiny because I have to.
Yeah.
But I go in there and I play it, and I'm okay playing it. I actually am okay playing it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean I'm okay playing it, not saying that I'm actually good at it. I'm not. But I'm okay that I have to do that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I really, really am.
Well, in my case, I just skip it.
I know.
Yeah.
If they ever did it to where it's completely optional and whatever, then sure, I'd probably never touch it. I really, really wouldn't. But you know, I'm okay with that. Competitive, which there's a mode in Destiny I don't touch, the competitive PvP. That those rankings, whatever that is, Valor, Glory, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't touch that part. I don't touch that part of the game at all. That is not a fun part of the game to me. Never has been. So, but yeah, there you go. AC Wraith, card-based roguelikes and just in general roguelites seem to be in fashion on PC at least. See you, Duke. So yeah, it's and I guess that's it. I haven't really been paying attention to that, you know. But it seems like that. Yeah, that and I still think the Apex Legends stuff is still dominating the genre type of thing. That's the genre that is dominating gaming right now.
Yeah.
NVIDIA says that GPU shortages will persist until the end of the year. Of course they will. I keep getting close. I don't keep getting closer. I just keep getting close. Whenever I hear of a, there's a drop over here, go get it. And I try and it's gone.
Yeah.
What else did we have? We talked about that. We should talk about that PlayStation 5 thing. They did an update on the PS5, which now lets it, I think makes it more stable when you have not a remote drive, but the external hard drive.
Okay. More stable with an external drive?
More stable, yeah. It was very, very hit or miss, depending on some of the drives that you would use. There's a whole forum thread that I was reading about external drives and what were the best ones up until this point.
Yeah.
Although everybody kind of took that and said, well, this is the best one you should get, regardless of if they've got the update out or not. And even with the update, it's still the best one you should get type of thing. And there's like a couple of those that fill that thing. And I think as time goes on, it'll get better because they'll just keep making improvements with that. But that was, yeah.
Do we mention anything about swapping hard drives on the PS5 or whatever?
Well, yeah, because you couldn't do it.
Oh.
Well,
Wow.
No. You still can't swap your hard drive out.
Okay.
You can still plug in an external hard drive. No. I think you can. No, I think you can do the NVMe drive.
Okay.
You can swap that out, but it has to be a certain speed, a certain type, in order for you to actually make that switch. But even then, I'm not sure you can actually do that just yet. I think they're getting there.
Okay.
If they aren't already, I think they're getting there.
So it's best right now to just stick to external right now, right?
Stick to external, yeah. Before the patch, it was a little bit different because I remember there was a time where you couldn't move it off of it was going to play onto the external. You couldn't move that onto the internal drive. Mm-hmm. I think that's fixed. I don't know. I don't mess with a lot of external drives, so I don't keep up with the news.
Yeah, I mean, eventually when I pick up PS5, I'm going to have to get a external drive because I'm all about space and needing it when as the games pick up on that thing.
Yeah.
Did it with PS3, did it with PS4. I don't see why PS5 would be any different, really.
Well, yeah, it's using a brand new hard drive. Yeah. I mean, it's using, I say a brand new hard drive. It's using a brand new type of hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how old NVMEs are being on the market. I know that when I built my computer in 2012, there was at least no such thing I had heard of an NVMe. Mm-hmm. And so when I was doing my build now, I was like, what is this NVMe thing? Oh, it's SSD, but it's like super, super SSD type thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, yeah, Lethal Migraine says they just had external support with this update. Sony, they didn't do a very good job.
Rush job?
I don't know about a rush job or an overlooking type of job where it's just like, oh, whoops, we didn't look at this. We need to fix this. So, yeah. What else did... Nintendo had an Indie World showcase thing go on, which... What do we have? A game that's called a game that's called The Longing? Yeah, The Longing is a point-and-click adventure or an idle game where the player has to wait 400 days for his king's powers to awaken.
What are you doing in the meantime?
I don't know. That's the first I've seen of this or heard of this for me looking
Waiting
at it.
simulator? What is this?
I have no idea, man. I literally just read to you everything they just said, and there's no more description about what the game is.
I might need a little more than that.
But if you're curious, it's called The Longing. Because you're going to be waiting for a very long time.
The long wait.
Yeah. There is no game, Wrong Dimension, from a studio where this is a comedy adventure game that swears that there is no game. That's another interesting title. Aerial Knights Never Yield. What else do we have? Chris Tales. I'm not sure what that is. Last Stop. Road 96, which we knew about. The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, Shredder's Revenge, which looks like a sequel to the arcade game.
Is it the one with a slightly retro look?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Slightly, very retro look. I mean, it is very much the arcade game look. Aztec, Forgotten Gods, Skull, The Hero Slayer, Ollie Ollie World, Hindsight, House of the Dead remake, Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals, and some other stuff as well.
So we got a game called Ollie Ollie and a second game called Oxenfree.
Yeah.
Go figure.
That's, good point. I'm glad you caught that, because I did not. The other news here was that Epic, so the weird thing about Epic here is like one article says Epic is losing hundreds of millions of dollars in its war against Steam. The next article, let me see when this was posted. April 10th tells us that Epic is losing a lot of money. April 13th, Epic secures $1 billion in funding, $200 million of it from Sony. They're okay.
They'll be all right.
They're perfectly fine. And by the way, it's from, is it the same person? Nope. It's from the same news outlet, different people. Same news outlet, though. Mm. We'll tell you about this, though. This is from Eurogamer. It says, in a bid to take on Steam with the Epic Games Store, the company behind Fortnite is burning through hundreds of millions of dollars on exclusives and free games. They release free games every week. I talked about that earlier. They've snapped up a number of eye-catching PC launch exclusives since it went live in December 2018. Court documents published this week as part of their legal battle against Apple revealed that Epic committed $444 million in minimum guarantees for the year 2020 alone. A minimum guarantee is an advance paid to a publisher or developer whether or not the game itself makes enough money to claw the advance back. An example is the $9.49 million in some other kind of money, not Freedom Bucks, where they bought the Control from Remedy's Control game.
Oh, yeah.
And they had that for an exclusive for a while.
Wasn't that $20 recently?
It's free on PlayStation Plus, I think.
It was free on Plus? Okay.
I think it was free, or am I thinking about... No, I think it was PlayStation Plus that it was free.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
Basically at a price worth picking up. Free or $20, either one.
Yeah.
Worth picking up.
Sorry, I had a tweet from that Wario guy, and it was talking about something called Pac-Man Live. But anyway, which I don't remember hearing about. But they had to cancel it, whatever it is. Anyway, according to Apple's summary of the arguments it's bringing to court next month and citing deposits from Epic executives, the Epic Games Store is unprofitable. Apple contends it will not be profitable for at least multiple years, if ever. The filings from Apple reveal that Epic lost around $181 million on the Epic Games Store in 2019 and projected to lose around $273 million on the store in 2020, even with significant growth. Revenue for last year was projected at $401 million. They have confirmed that $700 million was spent by PC players on the Epic Games Store in 2020. $700 million. Although only $265 of that was spent by players on third-party PC games. There's a lot of numbers here. Here's the bombshell. At best, Epic does not expect the Game Store to have a cumulative gross profit before the year 2027. Then, as a result, Epic has funded and must continue to fund the Epic Game Store through funding and capital raised by other parts of its business, which have been incredibly profitable for several years. That's Fortnite, of course. The company itself, Apple's claim was that 2027 is when it will be profitable. The company, Epic, says that their store will be profitable by 2023. So, yeah. I'm not worried about these two.
No, they'll be fine.
Yeah, not worried about it at all.
They'll be fine.
Yeah. Especially since they just secured $1 billion in funding, $200 million of that from Sony. Most of that was to put Sony characters into Fortnite. Yeah. Kratos is in there. Alloy's in there. I don't know who else. Sackboy, maybe? I don't know. Somebody else is in there as well.
I never played the game, but yeah.
But yeah, they're all Sony-owned properties.
Yeah.
Which is interesting that they have to pay for their characters to be in there. You would think Epic would be like, hey, can you put some of your characters in there? We'll pay you to put it in there. But I guess not. I don't know. I'm assuming that's where some of that money is coming from, at least. I don't actually know if that's the case, though. Lethal Migraine was talking about he played Hitman 3. Hitman 3 sold 300% better than Hitman 2. Pretty good profit there. And Mario Kart 8 became the best-selling racing game in history. Good job there. There's a lot of other news here that we're not going to get to. We talked about week before last, I guess, when we talked about MLB The Show being on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And Lethal Migraine rightfully pointed out that it's probably MLB that made this deal, and it totally actually was.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything on it, but there was an article over the last 2 weeks from IGN where MLB was the ones who were behind the decision to bring it to Xbox. Not just to bring it to Xbox, but probably to make its way to Game Pass. As part of the goal, MLB decided to bring a franchise to more players and baseball fans. This decision provides a unique opportunity to further establish MLB The Show as the premier brand for baseball video games. This is all from Sony. And, of course, Sony is going to... They got to hold on to that thing. And so if that's what they demand, then that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to lose that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. Lethal Migraine says that Hitman 3, they made all their development money back within a week's time of that game being on sale. There was another game that did that not too long ago as well. There was another game that was, I don't know about a high profile, but they had a lot of money to make it, and they made all their money back when it released.
Mm-hmm.
And they were good to go. But I remember Hitman 3 being one of those that did that. So, yeah. Anyway. I mean, for me, tonight, going to play some Destiny later on.
Yeah.
Try and do a Grandmaster Nightfall, which it says I've done, but I apparently don't remember. Apparently, I only did it once.
You've played so much, yeah. There's so many things you've done in that game that it's probably easy to forget
apparently,
a detail or two.
I only did it once. Super Game Sniper 9. By the way, welcome to the show. I don't think I've ever seen your name here before. Cyberpunk 2077, they made their money back. You're exactly right. That was the other one where they made their money back within a week's time of the game releasing. Good God, we got a lot of people who joined us. We only got like 7 minutes left.
Do another roll call?
I mean, I want to, but, there's just, Thanks for showing up, fellas, folks. Appreciate it, but we only got like 7 minutes to go before we're out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Resident Evil. There was a showcase this week for
Resident
Evil.
Right. Yeah, there was. Yeah.
We're getting some... Man, why make it complicated? It's honestly not that complicated, probably if I looked at it. But because they're throwing a bunch of dates and times in front of my face, it's hard for me to put it all into perspective.
Yeah.
Because they're releasing a couple of demos... And they're going to be time demos. In other words, you can play for an hour on this demo and then it's done. But the demo's only going to be available for a certain window of time for you to play it.
Yeah.
And here we go.
I'm good.
PlayStation owners will have early access to the demo next week. And the village and castle portions will be separated into 2 days. Each demo will be available to download and play over an 8-hour window. Although the game time is limited to 30 minutes each. So here in the States, May 1st, from 5 p.m. Pacific to May 2nd, 5 p.m. Pacific. The demo will arrive for all platforms on May 1st and 2nd. Players have an hour to play both the village demo and the castle demo and can choose how to split their time. In other words, I can spend 20 minutes in one.
Yeah.
And then 40 minutes in the other, or whatever the case. 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, or however I want to split it up. And then I thought they were going to do another well, no, there it is. Okay, so the village demo, is it the preload? What's that? Yeah, the village, I have no idea what this means, because this says April 17th to April 18th, which means that's today. So what is this? Village and then Castle demo is April 24th through April 25th. Is this where we download it and then we only have 8 hours to play it? So there's a window on the download. There's a time-gated window on the download, and then there's a time-gated window on playing it. It's very confusing. Very, very confusing. So, Super Game Sniper. There are better games than Destiny 2, my friend. The grind isn't worth your time. Some games don't value a player's efforts. Again, you'd have to go back to earlier in the show when I said that I've advanced more this season.
Yeah,
playing about 2 days a week
instead of
not even 2 full days a week. You know what I'm saying? Just a few hours in the morning on Saturday and Sunday has gotten me through more than when I used to just sit there and play a ton of it. Yeah. And again, that may go to Bungie's credit. They could have slimmed down some of the things to do, although it doesn't feel like they did because there's a lot to do. But I'm not sure. So, I know there are better games out there. I put a lot of time into. I say there are better games. I know I still enjoy playing the game. I know there are better grindy type games. I know there are better ones than that, probably. Just Destiny's been one that has hooked me since its release, and it's not that I'll follow it anywhere, because there are some times that I'm not happy with some of the choices they make, but somehow I continue to, to come to terms with whatever those choices are, and I'm able to, I forget the last thing that they did. Well, the sunsetting, which they've reversed on. So I don't know. I understand. Look, I know that maybe other people have found games that they like better than Destiny. That's perfectly fine. But that's where my hooks are. It's where my hooks have been. It's where I enjoy playing it. The shooting mechanic and everything else just still sits pretty good with me. And if I play something else that feels like Destiny, I basically just want to go back and play Destiny then. I don't need a game that feels like Destiny. I don't need a game that would say, hey, man, you like Destiny, you're going to love this. No, I have Destiny. I don't need something else like it. Otherwise, it's just going to be another one that just, eats up my time. Or I'll play it and Destiny on top of it. And then really screw myself over.
That'll really bog down your...
wouldn't it? So, I mean, I'm okay with I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly okay with it. I enjoy where I'm at with it. Again, I didn't put near the kind of grind that I'm normally used to, and I'm still further ahead than what I usually am. So I'm good. Anyway, we got to go. Only a few more minutes left. Thanks for everybody showing up. I appreciate it. I would love to have the debate with you, Super Game Sniper, but I can't because we've only got like less than a minute now before we go. And so, hey, come back next week and call in, and we'll totally have this conversation because I would love to. Not that we're going to argue about it or anything like that, but I just don't have time to address it. I really would like to because I would love to hear your points on it. Thanks for everybody joining us. Join our Discord if you can. Usually we have a link in there, but I didn't put a link in, but it's in-game chat. You can find us. You can find me on Discord, that sort of thing. Subscribe to our Twitch channel. Find our YouTube channel and subscribe to us there. Go to ingamechat.net. And you'll be able to find all of that stuff where we can be found and where you can follow us and everything else. Have a fantastic weekend. You guys have a good one. This is music from Genesis Noir, and it's called TikTok. It's very jazzy. We'll see you next week.